right, well, we are back, and hopefully there's not a audio mount early on, but this is me, Devin Dungan here. This will be posted on my YouTube channel, and here with me is one of the hosts from the Dungan-Mott Music and Movie Podcast, Mr. Stephen Mott. How you doing, Stephen?
Good, brother.
All right.
I'm guessing on your channel.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to do a couple. I wanted to talk about a couple of news stories real quick. Just to kind of put something out there on my channel. First up here, and these are the first couple of the more well-known stories from throughout this week as far as movie and music goes. This is probably going to be more so movies than music, but AMC theaters have banned all Universal movies, so it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any of the new Halloween Kills in the theater here and at the AMC theater that's closest to us. The one in Mobile is AMC, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And they have banned Universal films from being shown in their theaters. And I understand somewhat. I think they took it a bit too far. But at the same time, I understand why they took it too far. And basically what happened is, have you heard about this already?
No, I hadn't heard nothing about this.
What happened? Universal, they had a contract with AMC Theater, and with the whole pandemic that's going on right now, I mean, none of the theaters are open or anything like that. So Universal took the movie Trolls World Tour, which is an animated children's film, and released it straight to digital, so straight to stream. And this caused a rift between AMC theaters and Universal, because Universal did not consult AMC with this, and with them having a contract within each other, that basically, since they didn't consult AMC theaters, AMC pulled their contract, pretty much. And
so that means basically from now on until they get that contract fixed back, or
yeah, that's from what I understand. I look for it because I mean Universal's a huge movie studio. So I look for them to pretty quickly fix what's going on. And like I said, I somewhat understand. I understand AMC's reasoning, but at the same time, I mean, AMC, from what I understand, is on the edge of bankruptcy anyway. So
that's what I was just gonna say. It sounds to me like they're probably trying to get more money out of them. Some kind. I mean, they're trying to work around and get more, some kind of way, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I look for it to be fixed soon. I don't look for it to last a very long time. I mean, if it does, I mean, that's a lot. That's a pretty huge money loss for AMC. Because like I said, Universal releases all of these movies. So like I believe it's Jurassic World 3, Halloween Kills, the new Candyman, semi-sequel, reboot, whatever it is. I mean, all of that, I mean, is for right now not going to be released at AMC Theater. And that's the one closest to us. I believe there's a Hollywood theater.
Yeah, also in Mobile, I guess it's still Hollywood Theater.
Yeah. And now I don't know if it's like a subsidiary or a division of AMC or what, But they may be still showing the films. I don't know. And I heard another one join in. I can't remember what it was, which movie theater chain it was, but they joined in as well in banning Universal films. So, I mean, it's kind of whenever things start opening back up, and I mean, who knows when that's going to be, hopefully soon.
I was going to say, are the movie theaters even open right now?
Not right now. And I mean, like I said, AMC, from what I understand, they're on the edge of bankruptcy anyway. So, I mean, that's going to be a pretty huge loss. And that leads me to the reason of saying that they're probably going to fix this whole thing pretty quickly. And,
yeah, there's usually more to it than the public eye can see. Usually it's to do with either money, with these executives, it's either to do with money or something personal that went on. You never really know, you know. Because it could be just that you know, they're trying to send a message about something and they're just gonna fix it later. I don't know, brother.
I have no idea. And I mean, when I first seen it, it said I seen it through a YouTube video. The guy broke down. He broke down everything that's going on. And at first, when I seen it, I said, like, this is going back to the '80s when they banned movies from being shown. I was going to say, like, or is Halloween and Candyman this bad? And then I went on in it and heard it, and then it was more basically kind of a more money thing, and I kind of thinking about it, I kind of view it possibly as a publicity stunt to kind of get stuff up in the air with the theater as far as things are going. But
I guess if you don't make a stir every once in a while with something, then everybody's attention won't be on that anymore. And also, what I was thinking is, with the whole coronavirus thing, theaters are closed right now, so, that would give, Universal a good reason to release it to, on the phone and stuff first, digital. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Because why just? I've been seeing that what you mentioned, that Trolls World Tour or whatever. I've been seeing that since probably a year or two ago. That World Tour stuff. I mean, it's been really promoted very well. Soundtrack was released from it. There's a lot of money being made off of that, just that particular film.
Yeah, and it's a franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And also, it's not the only. There's a lot of troll stuff before that too.
Yeah.
And I know it's an animated film, but still, there's a lot of money being made,
Oh, yeah.
off of that. So that's probably why there's a lot of tension going on around it, especially with the coronavirus. That's probably why the timing was as it was.
Yeah. And, but that's pretty much all I've heard on that one. I haven't heard any more news on it as far as that goes. Like I said, I somewhat understand it, because I mean, that was a contract between the two, but I think maybe AMC Theaters jumped the gun a little bit too much, or went a little bit too far. But that's really all I've heard.
And another thing I would like to add is, when you release something to digitally, I mean, that kind of really just nobody's gonna want to go see it in the theater or care about it as much if they can just buy it on your phone,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's released to the theater first always, and then it's there for a while, and then it's everywhere, DVD or on digital, you know, because that's the main attraction first, is the movie theater. And I know there's a certain element to going to see a movie anyway, even if it's already out or whatever, but it's just, money-wise, it's probably not quite the same, with any movie. if it's released first and then the theater,
Yeah. And I mean, Halloween Kills, basing off of Halloween 2018 and this being a sequel to that film, Halloween 2018 or 2018 or Halloween 2, whatever you want to call it, same difference really, but that was a huge money maker. That was distributed between, it was Universal, Blumhouse, Miramax Films, all of that. So Halloween Kills has been getting a significant amount of publicity anyway, and a lot of hype. And nobody right now knows when we're going to get a trailer. The poster hasn't been revealed, and everybody is thinking it's going to be next month, because when they released 2018, they released the poster and the trailer right around June. So nobody knows just yet, and Ryan Turek has said that it's coming soon, as well as Jason Blum. So I'm looking forward to that, and of course they've got another one supposed to come out in 2021, Halloween Ends, and they haven't shot it yet. They were going to shoot it. It was rumored that they were going to shoot it back with during the production of Halloween Kills, but that kind of came up to be false. But Halloween Ends, no one knows right now when or if it's ever going to be shot with what's going on right now. And it's kind of, everything's kind of, like I said, up in the air. Really it is. And movie theaters, it's going to be a big, this whole pandemic it's changed the way people's gonna live and how they go and do. That's pretty much a no-brainer. And
the thing is, though, certain industries are going to suffer more than others. Like for example, if you digitally, you're going to get a lot more, sales right now versus anything else. Like for example, on digital music versus CDs are really, that's more now, the current times anyway is how that is, but more than anything now, because you can't really go in the store unless you're going for something essential, or they say that, but
yeah,
that's just the point too, that some industries are gonna suffer more, and I think this was just AMC's one of their ways of just trying to cope with that,
Yeah.
Maybe trying to get a lawsuit out of it, probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah. That's pretty much, with that story, that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to Halloween Kills. I don't know about you.
Hey, I wasn't seeing the 2018 one in the theater, and I plan on doing the same with this upcoming. So,
yeah.
It's there.
And it's, I didn't get to see 2018 in the theater because I was going to go with some people, but the people basically never did go to the theater, and so I never did go to the theater because I waited and waited and waited, and eventually, I just eventually watched the movie here at home, and I think it's a very good movie. Maybe a tad bit overhyped, at least in my opinion, but that's another review for another day. But
yeah.
Moving on to and by overhyped, I think the movie wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it's still, to me, at least to me, a solid movie, and it pays a good tribute to all of the movies that came before it. But the next story, this was announced this week as well. Hellraiser is getting a new film. That's been known for a little while now. It's been kind of up in the air as far as things went, because the last movie we got in the Hellraiser franchise was Hellraiser Judgment. And that was released, I believe, in 2017. And there's been a remake that's been in the works for years now, and at one point Patrick Lussier and Todd Farmer was attached to it. I mean it's been all up in the air as far as things go, but I think they finally found their producer, and I believe David S. Goyer is going to write the film, and he's a kind of a more prominent screenwriter now, and he done the Dark Knight trilogy for Christopher Nolan as well. I think he had written Man of Steel, the Superman movie, or the Superman reboot, as well as Batman v Superman, and or at least he had involvement in those films. I don't know if he had written them or not, but Hellraiser, it's one of my personal favorite franchises. I haven't seen all the movies. I've watched the first 4, and then Inferno, and then I watched Judgment. And I enjoyed them all for what they were. And there's also a TV series that's supposed to go to HBO, and I don't really know if it's going to be to digital as for HBO, or if it's going to HBO, the channel on TV. But I'm excited for that. That's cool news this week. You haven't ever seen a Hellraiser movie, have you?
No, I don't believe so.
It's an experience. I'll just be honest with you. The first one's really a good movie, just for what it is. But the second one's pretty good as well. 3 was a very commercialized Hellraiser film. 4 had a lot of when we attempted to do a commentary on Halloween 6 last week, or a week ago today, that movie had a lot of studio meddling, and from what I understand, they took money from the budget on Halloween 6 and put it toward Hellraiser Bloodline, or Hellraiser 4, and that was the last one to have a theatrical release. And then from then on, there's been a lot of straight-to-video movies, a lot of them basically being born of a script that has no involvement with the Hellraiser franchise at all. So, but I'm looking forward to it. Just some upcoming releases. There's the new Candyman that I believe it's supposed to be released. I think they delayed the release date of that, and I haven't never seen any of those movies. I've got the first one, and I've attempted to watch it a couple of times, and basically it was conflicts within my sound system and stuff like that. But there was sequels to that movie made that supposedly, they said, I think I've heard the first sequel was good, but the other film was not. Of course, Halloween Kills is an upcoming movie. The Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman is in the works right now. So I'm really interested to see that. There's been a lot of hype with like Robert Pattinson's Batman and everything else. But trying to think of some other stuff. Kevin Smith, of course, I know you know who that is, don't you? Mm-hmm. He has completed the first draft of the sequel to Mallrats. And Mallrats, of course, I've reviewed it here on my channel. And Mallrats is a classic film, and it was Kevin Smith's second film. And I'm looking forward to it. Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead series, he's supposed to be starring in it, so that's going to be pretty cool. And that one and Clerks 3 are the two that I think he's working on now. Mallrats, he said the first draft was done over quarantine and everything, and I'm looking forward to it. Of course, they can't shoot it right now, but I'm looking forward to it. And heck, you haven't never seen Mallrats, have you?
Oh no, not that either.
Okay. That's some movies me and you're gonna have to get together and watch. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it as far as movies go. I mean, there's not a whole lot of movies that's been that I've heard of that's had any significant boosts or anything like, or movies that I know about and have been following per se. But now the music, the music part, I really didn't have a lot on. David Coverdale. This is one thing that David Coverdale is releasing a new Whitesnake album. What did you think of that new song that they released?
I thought that was real good. You mean the one from a long time ago, like the one that didn't make the album or whatever?
Yeah, the Always the Same.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Really, I don't know why it didn't make the album.
I don't either. There's an interview it surfaced on YouTube. The channel We Are One put it up, and he was talking about the whole album itself, and it's supposedly, and I mean, if this is true, I mean, I haven't. There's been a bunch of different box sets released here recently. Like they released a big box set for the 1987 album. There's been a huge box set released for Slip of the Tongue. Slide It In had a big box set released for it, as well as some acoustic sessions that he's done. And unfortunately, I don't own any of them. I've heard most of the tracks from him though. But he was talking about that, and he said that the tracks on this album are they're supposedly remixed or and stuff like that. And the tracks from Slide It In, he said on there, are going to be a mixture of the UK and US releases. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
So he didn't say he's releasing 2 new albums or something? The rock album and the love album?
It's supposed to. He said it's going to be called the Red, White, Blue albums or something. It's supposed to be 3 different albums. The rock album, which is more harder rocking stuff. Then there's the love album, which is going to be more love songs and stuff, ballads and stuff like that. And I don't know a whole lot about these albums, but I'm interested. Very much so. I mean, of course, I'm a huge Whitesnake fan. I mean, that early stuff's awesome. I love all eras of Whitesnake, and I think you do too, don't you?
Yeah, I like them pretty well.
And, I mean, I'm interested to hear this. That Always the Same was kind of, at first, I didn't really have a big, huge interest, and I said, well, I'm going to go listen to it. And I really enjoyed it and shared it on Facebook and stuff like that. And then, of course, sent it to you and stuff. And I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I like that Always the Same. Yeah, that was a great track. But we don't want to turn this into another review, I guess.
No, but I'm interested. I mean, it's supposed to be 3 albums. They're supposed to be kind of compilations of remixes and stuff like that. I'm interested, very much so. And I don't really know when the release of the album's going to be.
So all this stuff is going to be pre-written stuff that just didn't make albums, or was stuff that was kind of under the table?
Well, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if I'm kind of a bit confused on that. I don't know whether it's going to be rejects from other albums, or if it's going to be a mixture of unreleased stuff and studio stuff, or what.
Well, you said it's 3 albums, so what my guess would probably be there has to be a mix of stuff that is already released, but there's probably different masters. That would be my guess.
Yeah, and that's what I gathered. Like he was talking about the see, there's two versions, and you know this of Slide It In. And I mean, supposedly he said that they went in and combined those two versions together on some of the songs. So put in some of the stuff, some of the solos because they kind of diverge in places. And he said he went in and kind of combined those different releases together.
That's interesting.
Very much so. I'm very interested to hear that.
That kind of reminds me of, Derek and the Dominoes with that album, because, well, they didn't go back and do it, but there's been so many different releases of that same album. There's one called Deluxe Edition. There's probably 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different ones that's just called, extended or, something like that, But essentially it's just different masters, jams, just stuff that didn't make the album. Basically what it was, they just did a lot of studio stuff. And during that time period, they basically did nothing but just jam with the stuff, and that's probably the reason for that, and because it's so iconic, because Duane Allman was playing with, Derek and the Dominoes, of course, so,
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm interested, like I said, I'm interested to hear this new White Snake thing, and like I said, he said, from what I've read, it's 3 albums, so I'm interested to hear.
Yeah, also, if you want to go to another topic, do you have anything else to say about that topic?
Oh, no, I'm done.
Okay, well, I would like to say also that I think in February, it was some Cream Live stuff was released.
Yeah.
And I bought that whole thing. It obviously it's digital, but it would be a box set if it was, hard copy 4 discs. And what the way they set it up it was Goodbye Cream Tour in 1968. All of it was from that tour. But the 4 discs, one of them they were splitting apart into 4 different venues.
Yeah.
It was Royal Albert Hall, which the recordings were very rough from that whole disc. Which, I mean, it's still good to listen to, but it's very rough. I mean, as far as the audio quality.
Yeah.
And then there's San Diego Sports Arena, which is very good sound quality. Then the other two, the first three, besides the Royal Albert Hall, there's pretty good sound quality overall. It has it has a couple of different versions of Toad, drum solo by Ginger Baker, and then it has one called Passing the Time, another one that I didn't know he did a drum solo also on. So, I mean, this stuff is really, I didn't know they had this much stuff back.
Yeah.
And it really surprised me, but I'm glad they did release it now because I've been really listening to a lot of it. Obviously, it'll be a lot of the same stuff over and over, but to me that's a good thing. Because it kind of represents the tour, and then you see how on a tour the band would do something different. Like, for example, Crossroads, they did 3 different ways,
yeah.
On the same tour. And nobody does that, Hardly.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, bro? Have you listened to any of that stuff?
The 2 tracks that you sent me, I listened to, the version of Crossroads and the version of Sunshine of Your Love. I like both of those quite a bit.
Well, see, those were the first 2, that was released before everything else was. That's a trend now that they release stuff, not necessarily singles, but like, because it's from, 50 years ago, but, you know what I'm saying, but like, beforehand, they released those 2, the Crossroads and the Sunshine of Your Love. Both of those were for different, San Diego Sports Arena and the outdoor Oakland Coliseum. So really, I think those were the best 2 off of it, as far as the playing and, the audio quality itself.
Yeah.
All of it's really good, but you can tell, like for example, on "Sunshine of Your Love" on a different disc, it has where Jack Bruce's bass goes completely out on a whole during Eric's solo, and then it went out. Okay, it went out for a whole, like for a while there for a whole little stint, and then it came back, and then his amp messed up again. So Eric just kept on switching between playing that main riff and then he'd go back to soloing for a while, and they just kept on playing. It's just amazing to me how they just, they just blew it off. Eric just kept perfect time, just kept on going. And two, Ginger Baker. That's one of I think that's my favorite drummer.
Yeah.
Because Eric Clapton said that Jim Gordon was the best drummer he worked with, but I kind of disagree with that, to be honest. I think it was Ginger Baker because I guess I kind of like that more jazz style. Like you were saying with the Kiss drummer. I think that's kind of more of my tendency to more kind of like off the wall things and stuff. I like better.
Yeah.
A lot more improvisational stuff going on is what I like. And Cream was the very definition of improvisation, especially live. Like Ginger Baker said one time, I heard him talking, and he said basically that band was a jazz band. He said it was 90% improvisation.
Yeah.
Probably meaning that even when they did covers, like blues covers, they did it they would jam through the whole thing basically. And Ginger, I was talking before, and I'd like to mention again that Ginger, he'll be during Eric's solo, he would be basically soloing along with Eric.
Yeah.
And Eric would be the one more keeping time than the drummer, That's just the way it goes, and it sounds great to me. And it just sounds so raw sound. Like Ginger said, I don't think anybody ever did anything quite like that,
Yeah.
Or came to that level of able to just do just anything, just jam,
Yeah.
And really make sense out of anything. So I guess that's my 2 cents on that. What do you think about the idea of releasing the album, brother?
Oh, I like it. I was going to say, this is the time to where a lot of those artists are releasing material of stuff like that. Like Zappa has released, of course, posthumous. I can't say that word. Posthumously, he's released a bunch of box sets and stuff. Like Zappa in New York, he got a huge box set. There's been a couple of different Halloween box sets from Zappa from when he performed, I believe, at Palladium or something like that, on Halloween, which was kind of a regular stop for him around the time. And of course, like we was talking about a minute ago, Whitesnake's done it. And Van Halen, they released a big vinyl box set of the Japanese singles, and that was pretty cool. Ozzy's released a huge vinyl box set of all his material, but that's going into more like full albums and stuff. But yeah, like releasing unreleased material, it's kind of what it's come to now. And I wish a lot more bands would release stuff like that, because it'd be pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, especially live stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish Clapton would do that with a lot, like release like a 24 night unfiltered box set or something. Be cool.
Oh yeah.
And
that would probably have to be a lot of stuff in that though.
Or like release like Crossroads 3 live in the 80s or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, there's been 1 and 2, but I don't guess there's been a 3.
There has it. I have Crossroads 1 here. It's a good box set. It's more or less a greatest hits compilation enlarged. That's pretty much what box sets are. Is Ozzy's released one. Ozzy's I would have done a lot better with. it has some good stuff on it, but I mean, this was around the time when like Ultimate Sin couldn't be released because of a lawsuit, and then it was also, there's more than meets the eye to that, because it's also speculated that it was just because people didn't want to pay each other, and I mean, but that was it had some good stuff on there, but it wasn't a perfect box set by any means. But Kiss's released a pretty good box set. I wish it had more unreleased stuff. And going back, I mean, like Crossroads 2 live in the 70s was cool. I mean, it had a lot of good live stuff off of that. But yeah, I'm for bands releasing huge box sets like that. I mean, kind of a lot. Zappa, I mean, he's released plenty of stuff like it, like the Beat the Boots sets and all that. Like it's basically bootlegs and basically them trying to beat the bootleggers and stuff like that. But, you got anything else on that?
Not on that topic.
All right. Well, speaking of new releases, once again, and kind of releasing big box sets. This band is not releasing a big box set, but they have in the past, like beat the bootleggers and stuff like that. But excuse me. Deep Purple is releasing a brand new album called Whoosh, I believe is what it's called, or Swoosh, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And they released a brand new single from the album. Here, it's been a couple weeks back, called Throw My Bones, I believe is what it's called. And I enjoyed the song. I like Steve Morse era Purple. I mean, of course, it's only Ian Pace from the original lineup in the band now. It's Steve Morse on guitar, Roger Glover on bass, Don Airy on keyboard, Ian Pace on drums, and Ian Gillan on vocals. But I'm not the most in touch with that era of Deep Purple, but from the material I've heard, I really enjoy it. And, they still bring it good live. I've heard some live stuff, and yeah, they're releasing a new album. Have you heard the song?
I believe so.
Okay, but I sent it to you after we get that on here. But yeah, they released, and I think yesterday, I believe I saw they released another single yesterday. So I'm interested to hear that. Trying to think of some other stuff. Molly Hatchet, which this has been a while now, but they released a live album back in November of last year called Battleground Live, and I recommend that. I mean, it's got a good balance, and I think I talked about that in my review of the Devil's Canyon album. They released a live album with their brand new vocalist Jimmy Elkins, and it's a very good live album. I've sent you some tracks from it, haven't I? What did you think of those tracks?
I mean, it sounded all right to me, brother.
Yeah.
Sounded good.
I mean, really, there's not a lot of music news out there. You got any other music news, Steve?
The only thing I can think of, and it's not extremely current, but it's maybe from about 6 months ago, I read an article to where Eric Clapton, he had a show, I think it was in California somewhere. You know, sort of a one-time deal, one of those types. And Carlos Santana was guesting in the show, and then they got to talking after the show, I think, or something like that. And Eric asked Carlos why when is he going to sing? Because he's heard him sing before somewhere, I don't know where, but you know, because he's always been a guitar player predominantly. Yeah. And so he said, well, he told Eric, he said, well, if you'll produce it and be my, singing coach or whatever, then I'll do an album where I sing on it, and then we can co-write songs and then our stuff that I write,
Yeah.
But from that article, I haven't heard anything else about the works of that album, or if it even progressed anywhere from that conversation, or it could have been even a bogus article. I don't know, but it looked like a real article. I can't remember exactly what website it was on, but it looked like a legitimate, source. So, what do you think about that, brother?
I think that'd be interesting. I mean, I like some Santana. I don't know a whole lot, of course. I know Black Magic Woman. I like that track he did. I can't remember the guy's name. I believe it's called Smooth or something like that. I like that track, and that was him collaborating with someone else. And then there's a track, I believe it's called Willing or either Winning, and it's from the '80s, and that's a good track. I really like that song.
Well, or it could have been that they started doing it, and then Eric said, "You're hopeless and you can't sing and you suck." That's probably not what happened, though. But
no,
that's a possibility. I don't know.
That would be interesting. I would. Hey, I get it. I mean, Peter, just going some other new releases real quick, and then we'll try to kind of wrap things up here. But Peter Frampton released an all blues album, which I haven't heard anything off of that album, but I have heard that it's his first attempt at an all blues album. Billy Gibbons, guitarist of ZZ Top, he's released a brand new solo album. Lynyrd Skynyrd has released a new live album, actually, so that's in your neck of the woods.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
What's it called? Last of the Street Survivors.
Yeah. And then they released a new track too called "Last of the Street Survivors," which I like. It was a pretty good track.
Now what's the is it out or is it coming out?
What, the live album?
Yeah, the live album.
It's out.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because I knew it was pretty recent when it had been released or whatever. So
it's out, yeah. And of course, Ozzy released an album earlier this year. It was in talks he was going to record another one, and it's there's nothing else. I mean, with the whole pandemic taking over, I mean, a lot of people's plans were shot. Of course, Kiss was on the end of the road, and that was shut down because of this. All the concert tours have been shut down as far as I know. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and I believe it's Poison. I believe is the tour that's Motley Crue's reunited and all that. And it's kind of been mixed up to whether there's going to be a tour. I don't. It's not. I mean, I already see it's not going to be. And I mean that was a tour. I mean, people were kind of. I don't know whether people really wanted it or not, but I mean it was going to happen. And at least the Motley Crue camp, they were psyched about it. I mean, what I saw, but that I think is canceled. I think the Lynyrd Skynyrd I saw yesterday, they've canceled their tours. I did see Metallica, the drummer of Metallica, Lars Ulrich, has said that they may record an album possibly during the quarantine. And I didn't read the article. I mean, it could have been clickbait, but that's what I saw the article. Trying to think of some other stuff I've read. Mostly just Guns N' Roses has supposedly got a new album under wraps, possibly. I've seen this contract that's for this year, but I've also read that they're working on new material. I have no idea. Ace Frehley, former guitarist of Kiss, he has he's got a covers album, a sequel to Origins Volume 1. It's basically on the shelf for right now, and he's working on new material through quarantine. So that's there. AC/DC has possibly got some new material. It's not really known yet, and a lot of bands I'm just seeing is doing a lot of kind of like me and you are right now, doing Skype stuff and recording music, or going and do it, or working on new material. So.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, we this video is pretty long so far, but that's pretty much all I wanted to do a little movie and music news. I mean, there's not a whole lot of music news out there. Of course, the whole movie stuff with AMC theaters. I'm looking forward to this new Halloween, the new Kevin Smith film. I'm looking forward to, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got. You got anything else, Steve?
Oh, that's all the news I can think of, brother. That's about all for me.
All right, and our second episode, we just recorded our second episode of the Dungan-Mott podcast today. It's May the 2nd, 2020, and I talked about stuff we watched this week. I'll just go through it once again on here real quick. I watched the documentary Kiss Extreme Close Up, Wes Craven's Shocker from 1989, Kiss Extreme Close Up from 1992, Tim Burton's 89's Batman, or Tim Burton Batman 89, whatever you want to call it. I watched Three from Hell last night, the newest Rob Zombie movie, and I watched Kevin Smith's Dogma for the first time. I'd never watched that. I've done a marathon of the Nightmare films last week as well. So I watched 3, 4, and 5, and I enjoyed them. And I got some other stuff here I'm going to probably check out later today and watch, and maybe do some reviews on them. Music-wise, of course, our review for this latest episode, we'll talk more about that in that episode. But any closing thoughts, Stephen?
At this point,
well, the only thing I can think of is, as far as new releases, me and Devon have got a new release that I put together an album that I've been editing. You should go check it out. I don't think I'm gonna change it anymore. I got the track listing like I want it and everything, and we're gonna do a review on that, I believe, or talk about it for a while. And that's the only other new news I can think of, brother.
All right, and yeah, check out his YouTube page for that, Stephen Mott. Mine is Devin Dunnigan, of course. You're watching this video on it. And the first 2 episodes of the Dungan-Mott Music Movie Podcast are going to be up here. Hopefully I can start another YouTube channel for our podcast, and hopefully I can get it on a podcasting platform of some type soon. Kind of money is the biggest thing with that. But, I mean, like I said, check out both of our YouTube pages. Like, comment, subscribe to both of our YouTube pages. Really,
one thing I would like to add also.
Go ahead.
The latest addition I've made to our album is I've released a single, if you will, and I've added it to the album. I replaced it with another song. I was going to put 2 different versions of Swinging Doors on there, but I wound up taking the first version we did off of it and replacing it with this one. I called it Michael's Deep Cuts.
Okay.
Something I had written the riff yesterday, I think it was, and then I didn't know what to write about, so I just or no, it was 2 days ago, and then so I decided to write another about Michael. It's also I did on another one. on the album. Bad Michael. That one's kind of in the same spirit. Anyway, that's about the gist of the album. Stuff that we did, covers. Other than that,
Yeah. And
have you heard that one?
Yeah.
The one I did.
Bad Michael.
Yeah. No, the other one I just released.
No, I haven't heard that one yet.
Okay, you need to go check it out, brother.
All right. But that's been our movie and music news for May the 2nd, 2020. Hopefully this will I guess you could say it's an episode. I probably won't consider this an episode. I just throw it up as just a YouTube video just individually. But I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube review. Like, comment, subscribe, and as I always say, thank you and see you next time.